Oh, yeah, that's better.
Hello, everyone. This is Terry Gibson.
And Brian Smith.
And Brian Smith with the International Direct Sellers Network. We're here on our Business 101 meeting. We're excited to have you here, being able to check some things out. Oh, yeah, we're doing double now. We're looking at our laptop.
Nope. I got him muted now, so it's all good. Technical things we just try to mask behind the scenes. It's incredible what's going on behind the scenes.
You never know. You never know. But we're excited to be here to share some good things with you guys as the company grows. The actual avenue of sharing our Business 101 with people is awesome. And we have a special guest on with us here today.
Incredible
it's going to be great. So get good information too. But before we get the guest on, we're going to have Brian say a few words here in regards to the whole program. So, Brian?
So, guys, always with us, we just want to let you guys know that the IDSN, or the International Direct Sellers Network, we're here to take care of things for you. We provide a bunch of resources, videos like this, guests that we have. It's a fantastic venue. It's free for everyone. So if you will go to our website and go to our membership tab and put in your information, we'll be able to give you updates and instructions of what's coming up. Also follow us on Facebook, which is, if you're on here already, you'll know what that is. So on Facebook, we have the @IDSN official. And then if you guys also will follow us on Twitter and other things, we got it all out there so that you can find out about these guest speakers that we have coming in, because they are absolutely fantastic. We both know the speaker on tonight. If you're not here with us, and you're missing out on something special. So definitely follow us on the IDSN. Tell your friends about it. Make sure that you know what's going on here so we can support you, the direct seller, and what you're doing, and get you great information. So, Terry, with that, I'll turn it back to you.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Brian, because really, we're all about connecting people. Remember, the whole vision is to be able to share the things that we learn about just good products and great business practices, join those, and really share them throughout everybody's really lifespan. That's what we're all about, is getting people healthy and wealthy, too. Why not? Today, so a good gentleman that I've known for a while and actually don't live too far from Colorado today. So we're doing this Facebook Live here with him remotely. I believe technology, Brian, has stepped up. Am I still there? Okay, let's see if we can get
good.
Mr. Foster, if you're still there, check it out. We got Miss Ansela there on us live. Got Brian, you're there. We've had some technical difficulties on our end, and we'll see if Mr. Foster can get back on, and he may have to chime back out. So, Tyrone, if you're there, you have to go out and then come back in, and that way I'll see that you're there and invite you back into our live stream. Hey, Miss Ansela, how are you? Good to see you. You're jumping on, saying hello. Appreciate that.
I'm not seeing feed here. Oh, here she is. All right.
Yeah, she's right there.
Ansela.
That's right. So that's happening. And so
there's Tyrone. He's
did you come back in? Okay, Tyrone's back in. We'll see if we can get you back on here, Tyrone. Perfect. That's looking good. And for some reason, like I said, we had our side, so we're going to get Tyrone to jump back in here and give us some words of wisdom here. Mr. Foster, can you hear me? Hey, man.
We start doing business and everyone just shuts down. It's like no business stuff.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's not you, it's us.
It's our side over here, man. So you're great, and you're looking sharp over there in the white shirt and tie, man.
I was working, man, all day today. It was a good day. I'm out here in Denver, and the good old. It's bad. It's gloomy and a lot of snow, but there's good hearts here. There's people here. The people here are warm and shiny. You know, they got light, so they're bringing the light, not the sun.
That's important. That's good, man. Well, I appreciate that. Well, you're missing out on some Utah sun and rays right now. We got bright sunshine.
I know. Yeah. I heard. My wife told me that. Thanks for having me on, guys. Hey, look, for those of you who are watching or will watch this in the future, these are two great men. You know, when I first heard about you guys doing this, I thought it was a brilliant idea. I was like, all right, how can I get involved? What could I do? Because I think it's not all companies are the same. I was actually, cut from a cloth of a company that actually did it right. And so, it's hard to, I grew up in a great experience, and I know that's not always everyone's situation. So it's nice to have some good content where people can go, oh, okay, that's not what I'm doing, or I can do this better. this is good info here. So that's good. You guys are providing great value to the industry.
Well, we appreciate that, Tyrone.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
great. Well, we found, of course, in our experience and yours as well, that some companies do it right, some not so right. But
Yeah.
regardless of that, you got people involved, and you want to have the best for the people. And so I don't know if our introduction got a little goofed up there, but I want to tell you guys again about who you have on the line here. This guy, I mean, I'm walking in his shadow a lot of times. He is really amazing when it comes to not only just motivating people, but he's done some things in the entrepreneurial realm. He's done some good things there, and writing books. I mean, everybody always has a dream of writing a book. This guy actually did it, and he's I think I don't know about the same age as me, Brian. What do you think? Or is he younger?
He's younger than
You're
me.
younger than me.
I was sitting there following around going, where does this guy get all his energy? Because this guy's got energy all the time.
Yeah.
I love being around Tyrone because he's always about energy. It's just there and say, I just want to be out and doing something. As soon as I talk with him, I say, I got to do more.
But he's on a mission, and so I invited him tonight to really share some things about, of course, who he is, where he's from, but kind of the mission and purpose that can help motivate you guys. Because again, you're out there following the lead of people that are hopefully inspired and they're powerful. You have dreams and goals too. What are some words and things we can share with Tyrone? So, Tyrone, I'm gonna let you take it away, man. Tell us about you and what your mission is.
Okay, so I have always lived by this statement. You guys probably heard this before if you've been in any speaking and things that I've done, but it was it came by this thing was told to me by a military drill instructor, and he said, he had us repeating this saying, and it kind of resonated with me. And then I did some research on where it came from, and then I just internalized it myself. But it was, whatever I do, I'll strive to do it so well that no one living, no one dead, and no one yet to come could do it any better. And so there's if you listen to the words, they're very powerful. But ultimately, what it boiled down to for me was being a captain. And that's kind of where things change for me, is when I realize that I'm in control of my life, and I'm at the helm, and to take responsibility for the things that are going on, good or bad, But if I take that role, then I can control the situation or my perception of the situation, and I think that's crucial for any part of the human experience, right? If we give other people the ability to control our lives, then they have the power, then they control. There was a mentor that used to say to me, make sure you're always in control of your business, and so, we would put the responsibility on somebody else and go, hey man, you need to do this meeting, or you need to be here at this time. And it's like, no, you need to be there at that time, so it allowed for you to be able to take control.
I like that, man. I like that, because really that puts the focus on, whatever you do, it's your responsibility. Too many people are caught up with having somebody else decide what their life needs to be like, and that's it's kind of false, It's kind of false. So give us a little bit of your story to this point, Tyrone. A little bit of background, where you come from, and all that.
So I tell folks I'm a Southern boy. My mom, she grew up in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, old country town. So we eat grits, fried chicken, all that collard greens and good stuff.
Oh man, that's some good food.
And when I say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and it's kind of a little strange for some folks depending on where you live. And I like hugging people, so that, because I like bringing the love as much as I can, and in many situations as possible, because I feel like we lack a lot of that, and we put up a lot of walls of defense. But when you start hugging people and showing love, it just comes down. It goes back to their core. Father, we pretty much consider ourselves a military family, even though we didn't travel much. My father, he had I trying to be cool and keep myself together while I'm on this thing, but he was killed overseas when I was a young boy. Him and my mom, together, they had my brother and I, and he adopted my three older sisters. So there's five of us in that house when he passed, when he was killed overseas. So that's a defining moment in my life. Even more so than that, it's kind of like, like from a Christian standpoint, most Christians don't focus on, Jesus Christ's death. They focus on the fact that he lives, right? And so for me, the second most defining moment in life was when I realized who I was. I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie, Black Panther. I don't know if you guys, that was a bad movie. It's awesome. We got Nathan Bailey in the house. All right, Nate Dogg. All right. And Cindy Cobb, all the way from Mississippi. But in the movie, the mom, the T'Challa, he's getting beat up. He's getting beat up by this. He's being challenged for his authority, and he's getting his butt kicked, right? And the guy who's kicking his butt, I can't remember who he was, but he basically says to T'Challa, he's like, you want this to be your king? And he's about to just tear him apart. And his mom, the queen, she goes, tell him who you are, and he goes, he starts to remember, and it's like in that moment, he reflects on who he was. And for me, that happened. It was a, you'll have to read the book to get the whole story. But he said to this gentleman said to me something that absolutely changed my life. In 30 seconds, he created an experience for me that allowed me to reflect back on my legacy and my father and to figure out who I was. Now, you got to read it to find out. But the bottom line is that I realized that most of us, when we are in despair or disbelief, or we're having some issues of fear or doubt, and we're not moving forward and we're stopped, we've forgotten who we were. We've forgotten who we are, and where we're going, or why we're going, the direction we're going. We've gotten lost somehow. And blame it on media, blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. But at the end of the day, we have to define who we are. And I always go back to be a captain, because once you recognize that you can control the ship and you're at the helm, then everything else becomes secondary, right? Something comes up, you're like, oh well, hey, look, I own that. I'm just gonna do what I need to do and move forward. Or somebody offends you and it's really, it hurts you. Yeah, it hurts, but then you go, look, you be the bigger person. Go, you know what? I am so sorry that I let myself get put in that situation. I'll be better next time and learn, right? So you're always in control of that situation, and that's what being a captain is about. So my challenge to myself every day and to a lot of people in business is just to be the captain. And there's characters that characteristics of that I outline in the book, using the acronym of greatness. But it's mostly boils down to knowing who you are and being really clear about who you are as far as identity. And that's really understanding, hey, I'm in control. And then where you want to go, okay? Where are you going?
That's awesome.
Where am I going as a father? Where am I going as a mother? Where am I going as a business owner, entrepreneur? Where am I going as a network marketer? And here's the thing, like those are fundamental principles that we talk about all the time in this business, but very few people are actually doing that. Like very few people understand that they control their life, because if they did, they wouldn't blame the company. They wouldn't blame their upline. They wouldn't blame their downline, the crossline, the person who came to the meeting and they didn't like it because the presenter was horrible. They wouldn't blame that guy for messing things up. And so it's just, it's just taking responsibility and having a different mindset and perspective.
Man, Tyrone, I tell you, I'm reliving your book, because I got your book and I've read it, and I hear these principles outlined in there. You were right on point with what you got in the book. And I don't know if you read it or not.
No, I was going to ask Tyrone, just to get a shout out on this, and maybe we can do this at the end as well, but just let people know where they can get that book. What's the title of the book, so we can tell some of the audience and people are wanting to say, hey, I'd like to read some of these things that you kind of referred to and what you wrote about. And then we'll give you a chance at the end to give it again, but you want to give it a quick shout out for the book here so we can, where people can maybe even find that?
Yeah, you can go, the book's called Navigate to greatness. My dad was a navigator in the United States Navy, so it's like he was a navigator among, ships. He gave me the tools to navigate men, right? So, Navigate to Greatness is the title. But here's what I'll do is, if you email me, you could just put my email in there at the end. What I'll do is because most of the people getting on here are generally, brand new. They're starting out. They already spent a lot of money trying to get started. I want to give it to them for free. I got a few copies.
What? That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. That's great. Appreciate it, Tyrone.
Well, definitely. We'll put it on the end here on the video. We'll make sure to have the contact information where people can reach out to you and those who are watching. What a fantastic offer for these guys, because again, guys, if you don't miss out on opportunities to take advantage of something like this, because Tyrone, he's done this. He's gone out there and done these things, and that's really a generous offer there.
Appreciate that, Tyrone. No, that's good, man.
No problem. No problem. Just have them email me. I'm just saying, just have them email me, and then I'll and they just pay for the shipping, and they get that book. They just once they're done, give it like they've received it, right? Give it away to somebody else once they're done reading it.
Man, that's deep. That's really deep. So I've always heard that they say that what's the phrasing? It's like readers or leaders, and that really that means a lot.
No, it's true.
Yeah, so you have
people who are really doing things are out there actually reading. They're doing stuff. They're committing.
Yeah.
So commit right now. If you're listening in here or you're listening later on, commit to that. Reach out and make a difference here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thanks, Ty. So here's about two, man. As you know, people they're on this call. They kind of at three different levels. The first level, you have some people that are just starting off their business, whether it be in network marketing, direct selling, or entrepreneurship as a whole. What kind of advice would you give somebody who's brand new, just starting out? They see that the job world may not be for them. They may want to venture out on their own. What kind of advice would you give them to kind of get started?
You're talking about number one, starting out, brand new. Yep.
Just starting out.
I would return that pack and run. Run.
Oh, man.
Because you know what's coming. It's going to take some work.
No, honestly, you just got to be. Let's go. This theme of be the captain is, it's a real thing. It's not just some made up fun thing to say to people to, just to sell stuff. It's real. Because here's what has to happen. I knew when I first, I'll just give you from raw experience. When I first started, I didn't know what I was doing, and I had good people working with me. But at the end of the day, they didn't have to pick up the phone and call people. It was me that had to do that. And I was scared. Most people were scared, right? You're letting fear dictate your behavior. And so if you don't really understand that you got God stuff in you, if you don't understand that you get to control how you feel about the situation, then what ends up happening is you don't push past that fear, or the anxiety or the anger, right? You let those little emotions affect you. And so I'm saying this because you have to have a certain mindset before you get on that phone or before you meet with someone. You have to know where you're going, or you have to know that the person that you have to emotionally get engaged with what you're doing, so that when you show up, when I'm talking to you, Terry, or when I'm talking to you, Brian, you can feel it, right? You got to be able to feel like, man, that guy, I don't know what he's doing. That may sound crazy, but I just got to go check it out because this dude's just excited. I had people just checking stuff out just because they felt like, man, well, I got to give this guy a shot because I just feel so bad.
That's awesome.
So I tell
it
you,
seems simple, but that's exactly it.
No, you got to go for. Look, if you're a 4, right? I'm talking about 4 in the sense of your quality, the people that you know, and the lifestyle you live, right? 4 look, everybody has insecurities, and the people at the top have the most insecurities, right? That's how they got there. They were scared, and they're right. So here's what I'm saying is, if I'm a 4, you're a 4, right? And we're right here. Well, I'm just recruiting 4s, right? That's and what does a 4 have? A 4 has fears, concerns, doubts. They got the same issues you got, right? So you got to go to a 10, right? You got to go to a 10 as a coach, and you got to say, hey, man, look, I don't know what I'm doing, right? You just got to be honest, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before, but I'm really excited about doing what I'm doing, and I want you to come look at it, right? Because I value you. You're a 10 in my eyes, and I'm serious. You're a 10, and you're probably talking to like a Bill Gates. You're probably talking to a person who's got a lot of influence, and that's what I would say. Find people with influence.
Okay.
Not hot air. So go, but you got, in order to do that, you gotta have that be a captain mindset. You gotta be a captain.
I like that. Man, that is golden. If nothing else, that's a nugget that people can take with them and say, I've got to be different myself. I've got to be the guy that people want to follow even. I want to be people out there in front. That's
well, how are you ever going to get there if you're not out there with the people that are like that? And so you got to sit there and say, look, I can't just keep staying with what I'm comfortable with. I'm going to have to go out there and say, I want to be with people who are stars. And it's going to probably challenge you. It's scary. But I mean, you made it so simple sounding. I mean, it's like, I can do this. And that's what I like about you. You always make it so it's so easy to sit there and go, I think I can do this.
I mean, here's the thing. I had a real revelatory experience. I don't even know if that's a word, but I did when I was I was a freshman, and I got pulled up on a varsity squad playing football, and I came in the locker room over the summer. You know, all these guys are pushing weights, and they put you in the group per position, right? So if you're a running back, you with the running backs, the defensive back. And so we had a lot of strong guys. I mean, some of these guys are benching 405, and they're 175, right? Yeah, wow. Yeah. And they weren't taking anything. They were just strong, right? And so the coach, they threw me in this group, and these guys, I mean, some of these, I just wouldn't even look at them on the streets, right? That's how scary they were. And they were in the group with me. We were all working out, and I show up, and they're just mad at me, right? Because they got to take the plates off, right? Because I'm barely lifting anything, right? And they're like, look, Tyrone, you better get it together. I'm like, huh? And they're like, look, we're not going to be changing this weight for you. So you're just going to lift what we're going to lift. And I was like, okay. And so, I ended up working out with their weight. Now, most of the time, I didn't even finish a full set, like in terms of one. Like I could barely get one.
Oh.
But within a month, right? Within a month, I was lifting what they were lifting. So you got to understand the gravity of that. Like, you run with giants and you become a giant. So I was like, look, if you're not a captain, go hang out with captains. You're going to become a captain. Eventually, you're going to get there. I mean, it may take a little while, but like the pastor used to say, you're worth waiting on, So.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true.
I love that story. You know what I love? I love that story. You're out in the weight room and they got the big guys going, I'm not taking that weight off. No. So you're going to have to figure out a way to do it yourself. I love that because you know what? That's the reality of things.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to tell them
no, because we know these guys are big. But you know what? It's the same thing with these incredible guys out there. They're doing leadership. They're saying, I'm not going to sit there and go on stage for you. I'm not going to sit there and rearrange all this stuff for you. You're going to have to step up to what I'm talking about. What a great analogy, man. I love the story. Yeah. I love it. It's really, really good. I'm going to be using that again. I'll give you credit for it. I love that story, man. That is really cool.
So here's something too, Tyrone. On the same note, I've heard of people saying, again, staying with your same level is good, but don't always take the advice of those people at the same level or below. They say if you got this broke friend that has a broke mindset and you think you want to advance, it's very difficult to live with that person because, don't take their advice.
There's going to be broke advice.
That's true. That's true. So Tyrone, what's up?
Doesn't make sense. Yeah, you're right.
So somebody maybe in the middle ground. You got a lot of people here on this that'll check this out they're kind of doing the business. They're doing some things. They're moving forward. They aren't moving forward as fast as they want to, like always, but they're not falling back. What kind of advice would you give somebody who's kind of in the middle of their business right now? They're seeing how things roll. They got it started. They've already jumped off. Now what? Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is success takes time, and you just got to be patient with yourself. I remember when I was like, man, I don't know if this is ever going to happen, and I was told that, my first $500 would be the hardest thing I would do in terms of the work up to getting a residual of $500. And I go, well, dude, I look back at I look back at that moment, and there was a lot of doubting times during that. Um, you know, in terms of getting out of your own way and moving past, you know, the moments, this goes back to making sure you're surrounded by good people. I think is a powerful tool to help you get through that. Because if somebody's been to the Super Bowl, they can tell you, hey, these are the things that are going to come in your way. Like that's an obstacle that I already been there. You know, I already been there. And it's comforting to know someone who has been there. And I remember sitting in I was at a conference, one of our academies, and a big, a pretty big guy in the company came up to me and he was like, "You know everything I know right now, everything you know." And he goes, "And I don't know why you had to go through what you went through, but what you're going through is exactly what you need because you're going to help somebody else get through that." And that's like my last thing I tell people is that you got to become a captain creator. And in order to become a captain creator, you got to go through crap. You know, sometimes it sucks, but that's the reality. That's the business you chose. And so if your expectations are, if somebody sold you the wrong expectations, which that happens in this business, but I didn't get the wrong expectations sold to me. The expectations were, it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful, but you got to keep going. I had a coach who, I got coach stories for days, man. But my coach, he passed away a few years ago, and I wrote a speech for him. It was called Fourth and Goal, and in Fourth and Goal, we had a situation where we were for our state finals, our championship team, right? We were going to win. Well, we didn't know if we were going to win at this point, but we were in a double overtime or something like that. And so it was fourth and goal. If we score, we win because we already had stopped them. And so my coach, I'm on the sideline with my jersey off and all that, and he calls my name, right? And I come running over. He goes, "Put your clothes on, put your jersey on." And I'm like, "Coach, what? I'm hurt, man. I'm hurt." He goes, No, put your jersey on. I need you for one more play. And I get out there, but before I go, he grabs me by my shoulder pads. He's got that tobacco in his mouth, and he just says, "Son, listen to me good. If you get hit, don't stop moving. Keep your feet moving." And so literally, man, I got in that game and kept my feet. But man, I got hit again and again and again. I was too afraid to not keep my feet moving, to get that tobacco spit in my face later on after the so you just got to keep moving. You just got to keep moving, and it sucks, man. I mean, I can't even. There's no other way to put it. But that's why you got to be really clear. That's why captains before they go out to sea, they plot the course. They know exactly where they're going. They know the weather patterns. They know all the things you need to know before you take off on that boat in the vast sea. And there's so many different obstacles, and they're prepared for them. So it's measuring the expectations, knowing who you are, and then just keep moving forward. Just keep your feet moving.
Right on, man. Right on. That's nothing that, man. That's really gold right there.
Good stuff.
Keep it moving. I like that, Tyrone. Appreciate that. Last piece before I turn it over to Brian, if you got some questions, and maybe somebody from the audience as well. What if you got somebody who's maybe seen what you've seen at your level or even beyond, and they say, okay, now I've kind of reached where a lot of people want to get to. Believe it or not, Tyrone, people want to be where you're at right now, and they aspire for that. What kind of thing maybe keeps you going? What's your measuring stick on success, and what keeps you doing what you're doing?
I'm different in so many ways. I kind of always been that way, but so when I say this, it's not. Hopefully, it doesn't come off self-righteous in any way and shape or form. But I learned a long time ago that God can do more with me than I can do with my own self. So I pray a lot, man. I pray a lot, and yeah, because I know anything's possible with him, and I've seen amazing miracles in my life with him, and I've seen how it hasn't been without him. So I would I don't know. And to be clear about, you know, I don't know. You just got to find something bigger than you. You know, I guess that's the principle.
Right.
Because if it isn't, you're always going to fail. You're always going to, I mean, well, even if you don't fail, let's say you succeed, then you think it's all you. And then there becomes an issue, because in this business, nothing happens because of you. I mean, you're the captain, but you got to recruit other captains, and you got to train other captains, and those people, you're dependent in some way, shape, or form upon other individuals doing their part. And if you're the only one that does your part and no one else does theirs, then you just got you're not running a big business. You're running you're a small business owner working by yourself, for yourself. So I pray a lot. For me, I make it bigger than myself. And my father's a big motivation to me. My wife's a big motivation to me. My kids are a big motivation. But, you know, I mean, I've had it where they, you know, I don't know, but the greatest of all those motivations is for me is God, and knowing that He's guiding me. And I believe each one of you and anybody in this planet can be guided in anything, if they're listening. So, sorry, that's a long answer.
Man, but I think it's the right one, Tyrone. I think it's right on, man. I think that's really important. People need to find their focus, and yours, obviously, seeking a higher power and knowing where your guidance is coming from. That's amazing. Brian, you got anything, man?
No, I just want to thank you for being with us and sharing the stories. I tell people who are watching, I don't think they really realize, and me and Terry have decades of experience with direct selling and with business and stuff. Very much appreciate what you're sharing here. And I think people, if they could sit there and watch and ponder on some of the things you said, it can go right past people where they're not really paying attention. I'd say people watch us again and again, you know, reach out and get your book and study that and learn these different things that are simple, but it's with that simplicity that great things happen.
Yeah.
And man, it's just a pleasure to have you on and be able to listen to what you're sharing here, because it's just good stuff. And we wouldn't be saying this, and we wouldn't be sharing all that you have to offer with the people that we have following us if we didn't think it was of value. And it's just really, really good stuff. And I don't know how you feel about it, Terry, but it's. I mean, both of us feel good about it. I'm pretty sure about that.
It's funny. As much as you like sharing it, we like
listening.
I know.
We get to watch this, and we get to listen, and this is a pleasure for us. I hope everyone else can feel the same thing. We get this every night.
It's really good. So, Tyrone, if you wouldn't mind, if there's any way that we can connect with you, did we get your email? Did we get your email?
Yeah, we'll have to get that afterwards. What we'll do for everyone who's watching, we'll get it on here, and then I'll do some, edit, the way I can edit the video, we'll put it on there. We'll get Tyrone's information out there.
Yeah.
But you got to watch the video. If you want to see all this stuff, you got to follow up. And we hope to have Tyrone back on here, because he's got, guys, you don't even know the half of it. You don't even know the little bit of what this guy can offer. We do.
I know.
But we don't want to take all your time. But man, this guy's good. And I like meeting him. First time I met him, I'm sitting there going, man, this guy's different.
Yeah, and of
just
course,
like what you were saying.
After seeing him on stage and doing different things, we've all been motivated enough to say he needs to motivate others, and you never know where this span can really go. So
exactly,
that's really cool. Any last words, Tyrone? Any last words for the people before we close out?
Oh, remember who you are, and be a light. Be a light. Don't be dark. Be a light. That's what I say.
That's excellent. Good stuff, man. Well, we hope you have you back in here. And again, this is brought to you guys by the IDSN, International Direct Sellers Network. We'll be bringing more people on here. That's great. We love the shout-outs. Tell people about this, because you're going to be able to see people like Tyrone on here. And man, if you're not telling people about this, telling your organization, you are losing out, because he just let you know this is a way for you to improve your business. And if you're not learning this stuff, if you're not getting motivated, if you're not bringing yourself up to another level, you're just hanging out, you're being neutral, you're just not making it happen. So join us on this. Join people like Tyrone and be a winner.
That's right.
Navigate yourself to winning.
That's true. Push share on your tabs there on Facebook. Share this out.
Like this.
Let people know. Find our page. Find Tyrone's page.
Follow us.
Get more information. Definitely don't don't miss out because of just lack of information. We got tons of it to give you. Be successful on purpose.
Don't do it tomorrow, because that's what we're talking about here. I'll take care of tomorrow. No, take care of it right now. Follow us. Be with us.
All right, Tyrone. Now.
Press it. There's somewhere in that button, somewhere in there. Press that button.
That's true. All right, Tyrone. Well, hey, man, thanks again for being with us. We appreciate you. Have a good time out there in Colorado.
Definitely.
Thanks, brothers. Appreciate you guys. See y'all
We'll
later.
look up with you again here soon.
All right, man.
Safe travels, man.
Peace.
All right.
Thanks.